back, everyone. We're diving into some festive season tourism ideas.
Festive season. Love it.
Yeah, we've got a ton of material here from articles and blog posts all about how tourism businesses can really capitalize
Yeah,
on it.
capitalize on the holidays.
Exactly. We've got everything from like picking the perfect destination, like should you go with a classic snowy Christmas market?
Right.
Or like a tropical getaway?
Right, or like a
Or even a cruise or something. You know what I mean?
exactly, yeah.
Mhm.
And we'll talk about packing tips and deals and all that good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't want to give too much away, but there's this one idea that I think is just super interesting about like
Mhm.
having visitors gift portable holiday decorations to locals.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So, yeah, let's just jump right in.
Sounds good.
Okay, so first things first, destinations. Yeah,
Destinations.
like where should people go and
Well, I think it's interesting. Like you said, some people, they want that like classic, like Hallmark movie Christmas,
totally.
They
Yeah.
want the snow, they want the Christmas market,
The hot chocolate.
the hot chocolate, exactly.
The little wooden ornaments.
Yeah, so those European Christmas markets are always going to be popular.
For sure.
But then you have people who are like, get me out of the cold.
On sun.
I want a beach. Yeah, exactly. And so like tropical destinations, they're also really popular this time of year.
Makes sense.
And I think it's interesting too because it kind of ties into like this whole psychology of like escaping the winter blues.
Oh, yeah.
Or like seeking out familiar traditions. Like some people really need that Christmas to feel like Christmas.
Totally. Yeah.
And for others, it's like, no, I want palm trees and sunshine.
Right. Exactly.
It's so interesting how diverse people's motivations are.
Right. And I think that's a good point for tourism businesses to remember, like,
You cater to everybody.
yeah, like don't just assume that everyone wants the same thing.
Exactly.
Okay, so we talked about those like classic destinations like Christmas markets and beaches, but one of our sources mentioned this really cool idea of promoting lesser known cultural festivities.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of St. Lucia Day.
I haven't, no.
Okay, so it's like this big thing in Scandinavia.
Okay.
And it happens on December 13th. And there are these like candlelit processions, and they make these traditional saffron buns.
That sounds amazing.
It's like super unique and different. And I feel like that's something that travelers are really looking for these days.
Yeah, they want something authentic.
Exactly. Like
Huh.
they don't just want to go to the same tourist traps that everyone else goes to.
Right. They want something real, something they can like connect with.
Totally. Yeah.
And I think it's also a good way for tourism businesses to differentiate themselves.
Oh, yeah. Like offer something that nobody else is offering.
Exactly. And it's all about the story, like think about the marketing potential there.
Right.
Like you're not just selling a trip, you're selling an experience,
Right.
a chance to like really immerse themselves in a different culture during a special time of year.
That's awesome. Okay, so moving on from destinations, let's talk about the practical stuff.
And nitty gritty.
Yeah, like travel deals and packing tips.
Especially important during the holiday season, right?
Oh, yeah, because everything gets so expensive and crowded.
Exactly. And people are stressed. They're trying to get everything done.
Right. So like any tips or tricks that we can offer travelers,
Yeah. Well, all of our sources, they emphasize finding travel deals.
like using apps and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are tons of apps and websites now that can help you find like last minute deals.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. And it's actually a really good way to like reduce empty seats on flights and stuff.
Oh, so it's good for the environment too.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a win-win.
I like it.
And then in terms of packing tips, it's all about packing light.
Right. Bring only what you need.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is a really good opportunity to tie in the whole sustainable travel trend.
Oh, yeah.
Like instead of just giving generic packing tips, you can like offer advice on eco-friendly options.
Like reusable water bottles and
Yeah.
stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And like promoting reusable items and like, maybe even suggesting brands that are like ethically sourced and all that.
Right.
So it's like you're helping people be more sustainable while also helping them pack more efficiently.
That's brilliant. Okay. I love that. So we talked about being sustainable with packing, but one of our sources also mentioned like actually choosing eco-friendly accommodations
Oh, yeah.
and destinations like places that are really committed to sustainability.
That's huge.
Yeah. And I think that's something that more and more travelers are looking for.
Definitely.
Okay, so speaking of amazing destinations, one of our sources mentioned Northern Lights tours.
Ooh.
And I just thought that was like such a cool idea.
It's magical.
Yeah, like can you imagine seeing the Northern Lights?
Especially during the holidays.
Oh, yeah?
Like, it's already such a magical time of year.
Right, and then you add the Northern Light.
It's like a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Yeah, and it's like inherently sustainable too.
Right. You're just out there in nature.
Yeah, just enjoying the beauty of the world.
And I think it really taps into that sense of wonder and awe that we all crave.
Totally, especially during the holidays.
When everything's so hectic and commercialized.
Right, it's like a chance to just like reconnect with something bigger than ourselves.
Exactly. Okay, so we've talked about these like grand destinations and experiences, but let's bring it back down to earth for a second and talk about like local hotspots.
Yeah, like how can we promote attractions that are closer to home?
Well, I think the key here is differentiation.
Okay.
Like, how can businesses stand out during the holiday season?
Especially when there's so much competition.
Right, exactly.
So like what are some ideas?
Well, I think it's all about highlighting the unique charm of your local area.
Okay.
Like maybe you have a cozy cafe that's known for its festive treats.
Okay. Yeah.
Or like a scenic winter hiking trail.
Or like a Christmas tree farm or something.
Exactly. Yeah, like something that's special and unique to your area.
Right. And then you can market that to travelers.
Yeah, and another thing that our sources mentioned was navigating potential holiday travel challenges.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Like flights get delayed, luggage gets lost.
Weather can be crazy.
Exactly. So like how can businesses help travelers deal with those challenges?
How about support?
Yeah, like maybe you create a resource guide with tips on dealing with flight delays.
Or finding last-minute accommodation.
Right, exactly, because that can be a real lifesaver during the holidays.
Yeah, and it shows travelers that you care.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about destinations and travel tips and all that, but let's talk about food.
Oh, yes.
Because who doesn't love indulging in festive feasts during the holidays?
It's the best part.
Right, and one of our sources mentioned food tourism as like a really great way to showcase different cultures.
Oh, yeah.
Like imagine like a food tour that highlights traditional holiday dishes from around the world.
That sounds amazing.
Right, or like partnering with local restaurants that are featuring special festive menus.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's like a really sensory way to explore the holidays.
It's not just about seeing, it's about tasting and smelling and really experiencing it.
Totally, and it's like a really unique and memorable experience.
Definitely. Okay, and speaking of unique experiences, our sources also talked about personalized travel gifts.
Oh yeah, instead of the usual socks and sweaters.
Exactly, like think outside the box.
So like what are some ideas?
Well, it could be anything from experiences to travel gear to like holiday-themed itineraries.
Okay.
Like, for example, you could give someone a voucher for a cooking class.
Oh, cool.
It features traditional holiday recipes.
I love that.
Or like a subscription box filled with local artisan goods from a specific destination.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
Right. It's like a gift that keeps on giving.
And it's so much more thoughtful than just like a generic gift card.
Definitely. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but let's wrap up with New Year's Eve celebrations, because that's like the grand finale of the holiday season.
Right, and our sources highlighted some iconic events like the fireworks in Sydney
Oh, yeah.
and the Times Square ball drop.
So classic.
And beach parties in Rio.
Sounds fun.
Right, and they were saying that like tourism businesses can really capitalize on these events.
Yeah, like create special packages and promotions.
Right, and offer like unique experiences that travelers wouldn't be able to get anywhere else.
Exactly. Okay, so before we wrap up, I just wanted to mention one last thing.
Okay.
And it's something that we haven't really talked about, but I think it's really important.
What's that?
It's the people who work behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the tourism industry is a huge machine.
Right.
And there are so many people who worked tirelessly to make these experiences possible.
Yeah, like the hotel staff and the tour guides and the restaurant workers.
Exactly. And I think it's important to acknowledge their hard work and dedication.
Totally. Especially during the holiday season.
When everything is so busy and demanding.
Right. So maybe we could like offer our audience a glimpse into what it's like to work in tourism during the holidays.
I like that, yeah, like a behind-the-scenes look at how everything comes together.
Right. And maybe even share some stories about like the challenges and rewards of the job.
That's a great idea. Okay, so I think we've covered pretty much everything.
And we've talked about destinations, experiences, sustainability tips and tricks.
And the amazing people who make it all happen.
Right. So hopefully our listeners are feeling inspired.
And ready to create some amazing festive content.
Exactly. So as you move forward, just remember to ask yourself this question. How can you use these ideas to create unforgettable festive experiences for your customers.
While also promoting responsible and sustainable tourism.
Right, because that's what it's all about.
Creating positive impact.
Exactly. And we'd love to hear your own innovative content ideas.
Yeah, share your thoughts with us.
Let's inspire each other.
Happy holidays, everyone.
And may your content be merry, bright, and truly engaging.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. All right.
Okay. Bye.